We know that there's some common misalignments in the shoulder as we work in yoga, but this is a simple exercise if you get a little confused about external and internal rotation of the shoulder. If my elbows are in towards the body, that means my shoulders are in external rotation. And if my shoulders are out from the body, that means my shoulders are in internal rotation. Try that. It's a little bit more difficult for someone to feel it in a posture like Urdhva Hastasana. But we could try it. We could push them against the wall and then open up their elbows. Here is internal rotation. But as soon as I bring my elbows in, I'm in external rotation. This is what I want to feel. This is called the strap jacket. Getting the strap set up can be tricky the first time you do it, but it's worth it. The harness supports and stabilizes your shoulder girdle by lifting the fronts of the shoulders up and drawing the bottom tips of the shoulder blades down. So you need a long strap, and then you're going to loop it around the back of your neck, and then you're going to pull down with your arms, right? And you can feel that wonderful lift in the chest, and you can feel how it opens up the shoulder, yes? And also you could feel that wonderful lift, right? So you could stay here. The strap should roll around your upper shoulders and your back and down while pressing your lower shoulder blades. Don't arch your lower back. Keep your legs and pelvis in Tadasana. Stay here with your hand pulling down on the strap. Once you've mastered the ins and outs of proper alignment, you should be ready to build the strength to maintain it. And here lies the rub. Done correctly, yoga poses strengthen the shoulders, but when they're done incorrectly, they could hurt us. So, example, Chaturanga Dandasana from a plank. If I go down and the heads of the humerus are not in line, and they're facing forward or tilting down towards the ground, I could injure myself. To counteract this, start in plank as you moved into Chaturanga Dandasana. See that the heads of the arm bones stay level with the elbows. Try not to let them dip down. If they drop, you need to build more strength around the whole rotator cuff. To do that, practice Chaturanga with your knees on the floor and the Supine Sleepwalker pose that I'm going to show you in a moment. You can also practice what Roger Cole calls the AntiChaturanga or Purusvattanasana. Here I have a modification on the chair as we press the hips up towards the ceiling. Purusvattanasana counteracts the effects of Chaturanga by stretching the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor and the anterior deltoids. So it's also stretching and strengthening the opposing muscle groups. Here's the supine sleepwalker I told you about. This movement not only trains the heads of the arm bones to stay in the sockets during a wide range of movement, but also builds well-rounded strength in the rotator cuff. You want to lie on your back. Your knees can be bent and your feet flat on the floor or your legs long. Hold a yoga block horizontally between your hands and extend your arms up towards the ceiling. Draw the head of the arm bone into the shoulder socket so that both shoulders press into the floor. Keeping the arms long, slowly lower the block overhead. As the block moves towards the floor, the backs of the shoulders may lift off the floor just slightly. But if the shoulders begin to bunch up by the ears, stop the block's descent. Realign the shoulders, and then continue to lower the block until it rests on the floor at arm's length above your head. Now, slowly lift the block back into the starting position while keeping your shoulders stable. You can repeat this exercise up to 10 times. Revolved abdomen pose. You want to lie on your back with your arms straight out or in cactus position. You want to bring both feet off the floor and bend your knees until they're directly over your hips and your shins are parallel to the floor. Keeping your arms and shoulders pressing into the floor, exhale and lower your knees to the right. Don't worry if your knees don't come up all the way to the floor. Instead, focus on keeping your shoulders grounded. Inhale and bring the legs back to center. Exhale to the opposite side. Repeat 5 times on each side. Keeping the back of your shoulders in firm contact with the floor strengthens the back of the rotator cuff, an area that's commonly weak. This is generally safe to do if you're recovering from injury because your body is well supported by the floor. Standing rotator cuff strengthener. This pose is similar to revolved abdomen pose but can be done from a standing position. Stand with your back to the wall and raise your arms into a cactus position. Pull the heads of the arm bones back until you feel the upper back engage and press into the wall. Keep the tailbone tucked to avoid overarching the lumbar spine. Maintaining firm contact between your shoulders and the wall and keeping your elbows bent at a 90-degree angle, slowly slide the arms up the wall. Ultimately, you may be able to touch your fingers overhead, but it may take time to get there. The key thing is to keep your shoulder blades flat against the wall. You can repeat this up to 10 times. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, or bridge pose. According to Iyengar certified teacher Roger Cole, clasping your hands behind your back in bridge pose stretches the muscles on the front of the arm bone. And for some, it makes it more difficult to lift the chest. So if you're one of those people, use straps around your ankles to counteract this in bridge pose.